Day 26, Bismarck, North Dakota. So one of my resolutions for this trip was not to skip over what's called the flyover states. And I'm so happy I didn't, because the Dakotas and Nebraska and Minnesota proved to be real treasures. And there are some states that unfortunately I didn't make it to, but that's for next trip. So my next stop was Bismarck, which is the capital of North Dakota. And there I had a tour of the Capitol building, which at 21 stories is actually the tallest building in the whole state. It's a beautiful Art Deco structure with intricate details in everything, starting from the windows and the lighting fixtures and the carving on the elevator doors and the stone walls and the marble floors and the woodworking details and on and on and on. And which is actually very telling about the people of North Dakota. It was built under budget. The budget was $2 million and they managed to come in $400 under. It was also very interesting to learn how their state legislature works. Now granted, North Dakota has a population of slightly under 900,000 people, but still I think Washington has got a lot to learn from them. So the legislature is in session every 2 years and it cannot last longer than 80 days. So there is no blabbing, it is straight down to business. The state legislators also don't have offices. They share a desk and all they got is a desk, a chair, a phone jack, and a place to plug in their laptop, and that's it. They also don't have staff. Each desk has 4 buttons: green for yay, red for nay, white for speak, and a black one for page. Pages are high school students or college students or retirees that come to the state capitol when the legislature is in session, and they essentially volunteer to be the aides. So if research needs to be done or a document needs to be brought or a cup of coffee or a cup of water, the volunteer aides take care of that. This is the governor's office, and there is also the state Supreme Court, which is actually the busiest state Supreme Court in the country. And on the top floor, there is a wonderful observation deck. And the Capitol being the tallest building in a prairie state, you can pretty much see forever. I think it's close to 35 miles on a clear day. And there's also a picture of the fire that consumed the original Capitol building. And the fascinating story about that is that the Secretary of State at the time broke a window in his office and climbed into the burning building to get the copy of the state's constitution, because it was his sworn duty to protect the Constitution. Across the street, well, actually across the square from the Capitol building, there is the North Dakota Heritage Center. It is a great place to visit, and North Dakota is a place with a lot of history and a lot of treasures, both man-made and natural. So if you're ever there, check it out. You're not gonna regret it. Next stop after Bismarck was Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park, which actually had 2 interesting things in it. One was something called the Slanted Village, which is the ruins, reconstructed ruins of a village of a local agricultural tribe that was abandoned a long time ago for an unknown reason. And the saddest thing is that any further attempts to resettle it failed because they just kept on getting smallpox and dying. Now these are really cool things called the cannonballs, which are actually balls of mineral matter that formed around something organic, like a leaf or a shell or tooth or a branch. And another thing there, which at first glance looked to me like just run-of-the-mill local curiosity, turned out to be the starting point of a eye-opening and mind-bending journey into American history, at least for me. And this is something called the Custer House. It's officers' headquarters where the legendary General George Custer was housed before starting out from North Dakota into Montana and meeting his eventual demise at the Battle of Little Bighorn, otherwise known as Custer's Last Stand. And then along the highway that mirrored the old wagon trail route from Bismarck, North Dakota into Deadwood, South Dakota, I ended up on something called the Enchanted Highway, which is 30 plus miles of road framed by world's tallest scrap metal sculptures. And this is actually a project of a local artist named Gary Graff, who desperately tried to attract more attention and tourists to revive his beloved hometown of Regent, North Dakota. Unfortunately, the town still looks like it's dying, but the sculptures are really cool.